Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Halloween week continues. One of the scariest goddamn movies I've ever seen, The Exorcist. Still scares the shit out of me to this day. The theme music from The Exorcist. Tomorrow is Halloween. Time for sugar overload for your kiddies tomorrow. They'll be up all night with the giggles. Welcome to another edition of The Locker Room. I'm your ugly ass host, Ryan Neff. Halloween Eve, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for anybody that's going to watch the replay. Game 5 of the World Series tonight. Yankees are favored. The over-under total is 8.5 runs. It's do or die anyway for the Yankees these next 3 games. They won last night 11-4. Yankees got to the bullpen. So we'll see what happens tonight. News and notes from today. Interfering Yankees fan. If anybody saw the idiots yesterday, I don't know if they were high on peyote. Maybe they were in the darkness with Aaron Rodgers, smoking shrooms. Mookie Betts caught the foul ball while it was still in play, by the way. And, of course, Yankees fan grabbed Mookie Betts' glove, ripped the ball out, and then the goon next to him grabbed Mookie Betts, his right hand, his arm. They should both be banned, period. There is no place in that for sports. Somewhere, Chicago Cubs Bartman is now a free man. He's a new man. Two New York Yankees fans have been banned from attending Game 5, and only Game 5 of the World Series after interfering with Mookie Betts. Yankees have said that the interference was egregious and unacceptable. The two clowns that interfered with Betts, Austin Capobianco and John Peter. Yes, not John Peter and Paul, just John Peter. They're both season ticket holders. They would apply to any Yankee Stadium games next season if the ban applies next year. So we'll see if what the Yankees do, the organization does from here. The team said it gave the fans Game 5 tickets to an ill child and his family who were unable to attend a kids-only news conference at the ballpark in September to mark Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Well, that's outstanding. Capobianco told Rogers that the Yankees refunded him the cost of the tickets for Game 5 and also informed him that he would not be arrested if he tried, that he would be arrested if he tried to attend the game. This is all according to ESPN's Jesse Rogers. Capobianco told Rogers, "We don't want to lose the season tickets. We're hoping for a short-term ban." Good luck with that. So it was just a mess. There's no place for that in sports. The guy catches the ball, just let it go. I don't know what you felt. You were trying to be cool. If you didn't think anything was going to happen. The replay's out there for everybody to see. It's a joke. And then they tried to play it off like, the ball was over the ball was in foul territory already. They tried to justify it, which was an even bigger joke. So, you don't know if they're going to do it again or not. So we'll see what the Yankees do going forward after this incident. Jordan Love says he sees a realistic shot to play versus the Lions. According to Rob Demovsky, ESPN staff writer, Love said, "I think it's realistic." Love said he thought he could play without practicing at all this week. Love said, "Yeah, obviously not practicing during the week is not the ideal format for trying to play a game. Like I said, things happen. If that's the scenario, I know I'll be fine, but definitely it's not the ideal scenario for going into a big week." They play the Lions this week in a huge divisional matchup. Coach LaFleur said he's moving around a lot better now. We'll see again. We'll take it one day at a time. Certainly, we'll push the envelope with that. I know if he wants to play, but we'll see where he's at by the end of the week. Hey, look, if he feels like he can play, but the only thing you don't want him to be is a detriment to the team. If he can't move around well enough to run, because part of his game is getting out of trouble with his legs. Well, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Three of the Packers' five offensive line starters, left tackle Rasheed Walker, he has a knee issue. Left guard Elgton Jenkins, he has a gluteus injury. We all have gluteus injuries. And center Josh Myers' wrist did not practice Wednesday. Neither did running back Josh Jacobs, who sustained an ankle injury late in the game against Jacksonville. Josh Jacobs has said that he will be ready. Keep an eye on that. I found this interesting. This came out today, within the last hour and a half. Max Olson from ESPN staff writer, college football. Sources have said the college helmet communications on unencrypted frequencies. Coach to player in-game communications during Power 4 college football games this season have been occurring on unencrypted frequencies, sources told ESPN on Wednesday, a revelation that raises questions about whether they could have been compromised. Texas Tech athletic director Kirby Hocutt said he raised the issue during a call with Big 12 athletic directors Tuesday after learning the Red Raiders helmet communications were unencrypted and accessible to anyone with a scanner and knowledge of how to locate the frequencies. Go figure. The Big 12 has instructed its 10 schools playing games this weekend to send their helmet communications devices back to GSC, the provider for all 68 Power 4 teams this year, for a software update that would provide encryption, sources confirmed to ESPN. The modules and cutoff switches are expected to be updated and returned in time for Saturday's games. Texas Tech AD Kirby Hocutt told ESPN, "We've got to have a game whose integrity is not questionable in any way on a Saturday afternoon." Seriously? You're talking about integrity in college football? "We owe it to the 120 young men on our football team to ensure that happens, that it's a game of fair competition and the same set of rules are enforced." Okay. And just it's a very lengthy article. You can go to ESPN.com. Matt Olson, ESPN staff writer. Look, they ain't cheating if you don't get caught. Isn't that the old saying? Don't talk to me about integrity in college football. Integrity in any college sports. That's a joke. Derek Carr set to return for the Saints this week. Says he's no savior. I wouldn't think he would be. Carr said it sucks having to sit there and watch when it wasn't the most painful thing I've ever dealt with. It really wasn't. It was just a lack of being able to do my job. And so that was the most frustrating part because I couldn't just play through it. I just literally couldn't do it. It's been the most frustrating injury I've ever had besides breaking my ankle, not being able to play in the playoffs that year because there's literally nothing that I could do but wait and just let it heal. Oblique strain. Anybody that remembers Quinn Ewers sort of suffered with the same thing. And he missed time. So Derek Carr to come back for the 2-6 Saints. Keep an eye on that. What else from today? The Panthers are to start Bryce Young again. Rookie running back Jonathan Brooks could make his NFL debut. You remember last year, Jonathan Brooks ripped up his ACL. He had ACL surgery in November of last year. Andy Dalton still continuing to rehab the throwing hand. Coach Dave Canales said, to me, it was taking decision out of Andy's hands. If you were to ask Andy, could you go? He'd say yes. And for me, he's like a week removed from a thumb injury, and I just want to make sure that we're putting him back out there in the right state and right framework. So Bryce Young gets another opportunity. But when Dalton's healthy, Dalton will most probably be your start. Top of the first, 0-0 Yankees Dodgers. Trayvon Diggs apologizes after confrontation with reporter. If anybody saw the snippet of him snapping off at the reporter, Diggs said, I shouldn't have reacted the way I reacted. I apologize for that. Most of it caught me at the right time. If you watch said video, Diggs was upset and an ex-post that questioned his effort on a George Kittle reception in the second half in which he eventually pushed the San Francisco tight end out of bounds. From the video, Diggs said, that's what you took from that? Out of that whole play, that's what you took from that? You don't know football. You can't do nothing that I do. You don't go out there. You can't go out there and do nothing. Stay in your lane, buddy. Stop trying me, dog. Diggs explained on the play, my man was up the field and I was behind the safeties at the time. So, I was the last line of defense and I felt like it prevented him from scoring. I took the highest angle. Yeah, I didn't think that my effort was a problem. So things are getting even dicier in Dallas. MRI on Lonzo Ball shows that he has a grade 1-2 wrist sprain. I don't know what that means. He said, if I play on it right now while it's still swollen, it could get to a grade 3. That would require surgery. Trying to avoid that, obviously, let the swelling go down, hopefully tape it up and get back to it. If you have a wrist sprain of any sort, it's going to bother you, period. If he's one step away from a grade 3, rest him, get some ice on that sumbitch. A little TENS unit on it, a little massage, And this is from yesterday. Everybody knows that I am a former Dallas Cowboys fan. Why? Because I got tired of Jerry Jones' bullshit 10 years ago. Started rooting for the Chiefs when Alex Smith was there, and this is before the Chiefs went on their run. I had no idea any of that was going to happen. You could stop with the ring chaser shit. Jerry Jones has a propensity for sticking his foot in his mouth. So following the loss, he discussed how major contracts for Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb impacted the team's depth and roster decisions. And this is what he said. He went on 105.3 The Fan, as he always does. He said, I was well aware of our commitment to Lamb and well aware of our commitment to Dak. They were really the principal reason you saw that all-in thing so much. I've always looked at the dollars we spend in football and on the roster. I've always looked at them as scholarships. What the fuck are you talking about? And they said, how's that? And Jerry Jones goes on to say, you give one player 5 scholarships. You give another player 1 scholarship. The more guys you can have out there with the 1 scholarship, the better off you are because of attrition. When you give a lot of scholarships to any one player in terms of your cap, in terms of the dollars, and that's much less you got to give to another player. What the fuck are you talking about? Jones highlighted that the resulting depth issues have led to younger, less experienced players filling the roster. He said, when you've used a lot of your scholarship money on several players, then that depth's got to be young. Young means more mistakes, always until they get it down. What are you talking about? Have you lost your mind? None of that makes any sense. I don't even think he thinks he makes sense. He's just coming up with shit to try and justify everything. And this is the route that he took. Are you serious? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Some of his family was in that accident on the way to the San Francisco game. Thank God nobody got seriously hurt. Again, I don't wish anything bad on the man. He's 82. He's getting up there. But until he is gone from the equation, I can't do it. I can't go back to rooting for him. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Since the last title in 95-96, ever since then, he has shoved the red hot poker up this fan base's ass. And he continues to do it. And I've said to my friends that are Cowboys fans, I've pleaded with Cowboys fans, stop going to the games if you really want to send a message. Here's I will come up with this idea. That stadium seats 90,000. How about 90,000 people just show up to the parking lot? Everybody bring TVs they can hook up to a generator and watch the games out in the parking lot. And don't go inside, spend any money. I've said this for the last 10, 15 years. Everybody kept pointing the finger. Oh, well, it's the quarterback's fault. No, it's the coach's fault. No, it's this person's fault. People are finally starting to come around to see that Jerry Jones has been the problem all along. He doesn't think so. Nobody has the balls to tell him that he's an idiot. He wants to come on this show. I'll tell him he's an idiot. Sell the team. Sell it to somebody like a Robert Kraft. You hire top-notch football people who know what they're doing. You let the experts take over. You bring in a high-profile coach that doesn't take any shit off anybody. That's a dictator. Gets the most out of his team. And you just sit back and write the checks and let everybody do their job. But he won't do it. He wants all the credit as an owner, as a GM, as an associate head coach. He is a pimple on the ass of Cowboys Nation. That's what he is. And again, don't wish anything bad on the man, but for Christ's sake, you know, for Cowboys Nation, when is enough enough? I'll leave that to Cowboys Nation to decide. People will still pack that stadium to watch that slop, expecting something different. That's not going to happen while he's there. Bottom of the first, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Yankees have scored 3. 1 out. New York Yankees up 3-0. Right now, the Yankees have turned the table on the Dodgers. If Yankees win Game 5, this is going to get really interesting. Long game, though. Let's go to the NBA. If anybody is wondering, let's look at some of the scores right now. Already in the third period, the Hornets are up on the Raptors 66-59. Third period, Cavaliers hammering the Lakers 70-50. LeBron's return to Cleveland. At the half, the Pacers up on the Celtics 67-57. At the half, the Pistons up on top of the 76ers 54-45. Embiid and Paul George are still out. At the half, the Hawks up on the Wizards 65-57. In the second, the Heat up on the Knicks 40-38. In the first, the Magic over the Bulls 22-9. And in the first, the Grizzlies on top of the Nets 18-12. As I mentioned, Embiid out again. The 76ers have been fined $100,000 for statements about Joel Embiid's health. That fine levied by the NBA. The NBA's investigation showed that the Sixers did not violate player participation policy with Embiid's missed games, but did so with the public comments that did not properly reflect his health issues with his knee. In its statement, the league cited comments made by President of Basketball Operations Daryl Morey and Coach Nick Nurse that were inconsistent with Joel Embiid's health status and in violation of NBA rules. Embiid continues to be out with a left knee condition. I just checked in to see what condition my condition was in. What does that mean exactly, left knee condition? They're really not revealing the scope or the depth of what the knee issue is. And if anybody saw Nick Nurse deflect questions about Embiid yesterday, I don't think this is really what Nick Nurse signed up for. I don't think he thought it was going to be hunky-dory, but I don't think he thought it was going to be like this. Uh, Embiid has taken part in multiple 5-on-5 scrimmages in recent days. That's reported by ESPN's Shams Charania. I'm tired of hearing about Embiid. It's a joke. He's all about himself anyway. He's not about the team. He could care less. I'm done talking about that clown. Toronto Raptors Scotty Barnes is diagnosed with a orbital fracture. He'll miss at least 3 weeks. Barnes was struck by Denver's Nikola Jokic while battling for a rebound late in the fourth quarter of Monday's home loss to the Nuggets. That sucks. It happens. Anybody that's played basketball, my nose is. I've got a deviated septum from playing high school basketball because I got popped in the face so many times. More NBA news. Mahmoud Mola pleads guilty to role in Jontay Porter bet case. Porter, Malal, and Long Phi Pham have pleaded guilty to wire fraud conspiracy. 2 other men have also been charged, haven't entered any pleas. Local boy, Malal, Lansdale, Pennsylvania, is set to be sentenced May 2nd in a federal court in Brooklyn. He could face anything from a no jail punishment to 20 years in prison. So good luck. Let's go to the NBA standings, as we're well underway now. We go to the Eastern Conference. The Cavaliers and the Celtics are both 4-0. Magic are third at 3-1. Heat fourth, 2-1. The Bulls are fifth, 2-2. The Hawks sixth, 2-2. Wizards, Knicks, 76ers, Hornets all 1-2. Nets, Raptors, Pacers, Bucks 1-3, and the Detroit Pistons 0-4. In the Western Conference, Oklahoma City Thunder are 3-0. The Suns, Lakers, Mavericks, Warriors are all 3-1. Clippers are 2-1. Rockets, Timberwolves, Kings, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Nuggets are 2-2. The Spurs are 1-2. Portland Trailblazers 1-3, and in last, your Utah Jazz at 0-4. NHL. Some wheeling and dealing going on. The Maple Leafs trade Timothy Liljegren to the Sharks for Matt Benning and some picks. A 2025 third-round draft selection and a 2026 sixth-round pick. So I don't know how Maple Leafs fans feel about that. The Colorado Avalanche have lost Ross Colton for 6 to 8 weeks. He has a broken foot. He sustained the injury Monday in the second period of the Avs 5-2 loss to the Blackhawks. Also a big loss for the Avs, who are having a not-so-stellar season. Unfortunately, Edmonton Oilers' Connor McDavid is out 2 to 3 weeks. He has an ankle injury. Not the way Edmonton season wanted to go. Like I said, I have the Stars and the Rangers in the Stanley Cup Finals. He left the game in a 6-1 loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets on Monday. He injured the ankle on his first shift of the game. Sucks. Hopefully, he can get back soon. The Detroit Red Wings deal Ole Mata to the Utah Hockey Club. Utah sent a 2025 third-round draft pick, previously acquired from the New York Rangers, to Detroit for Mata, who carries a $3 million salary cap hit and is an unrestricted free agent after this season. The Utah Hockey Club has a lot of injuries. I know that. The PWHL, the Pro Women's Hockey League, they plan to add 2 teams for the 2025-2026 season. That would increase the league to 8 teams. Let's see. The geographic locations on the table: Southern California and Seattle. Detroit and Pittsburgh are also in the mix. Washington, D.C. and Philly, Chicago and Denver are also options. Quebec City has said that they would like to be considered, as Calgary as well. So the Pro Women's Hockey League trying to build, I think that's a good thing. Let's go to the standings in the NHL, ladies and gentlemen. In the Eastern Conference, the Florida Panthers are 7-3-1 atop the Atlantic. The Lightning are 6-3 in second. Maple Leafs are 5-4-1 in fourth. The Detroit Red Wings are 4-4-1. Sabres, Canadians are all 4-5-1, as the Bruins are 4-5-1. They're all tied at 9 points apiece. In the Metropolitan Division, the New Jersey Devils are 6-4-2 atop the Metropolitan. The Rangers are 6-2-1 in second. Capitals Hurricanes are 6-2, tied for third. The Blue Jackets are 4-3-1. Islanders are 3-4-2, and the Flyers and Penguins in last. They were 7 points apiece. In the Western Conference, in the Central Division, the Winnipeg Jets 8-1 atop the division. Dallas Stars are 7-2. Minnesota Wild are 6-1-2. They both have 14 points apiece. Avalanche, Blues, and the Utah Hockey Club each with 10 points apiece. The Predators and my Blackhawks are in last at 7 points apiece. In the Pacific Division, the Vegas Golden Knights are first at 7-2-1. The Kings in second, 5-3-2. Canucks, Flames, and Kraken all tied for third with 11 points apiece. Ducks, Oilers with 9 points, and the San Jose Sharks with 6 points. No real big-time NFL news other than the fact that Anthony Richardson has been benched. I went over this the other day. They said Joe Flacco gives them the best chance to win. Look, I said this when they drafted Richardson. He's physically gifted. He only played 13 games at Florida. He doesn't know how to read a defense. They should have never drafted him. He should have stayed in school one more year. But that's what you get. So I see a trend in the NFL. Gone are the days where college players are going to transfer so much that it will be hard to get a gauge on what they're capable of. Bo Nix transferred for Auburn to Oregon. He's playing well. You might have an exception here or there. But, this is just the day and age we live in. If anybody watched soccer this past weekend, oh, by the way, I saw where the women won 3-0. Oh no, it's still they were up on Argentina in an international friendly. They're up 3-0. They're in the 71st minute. I'll go to the Premier League because that's what mostly everybody follows. This past weekend, and I've got to get to it here. Give me just a second. On Saturday, Aston Villa and Bournemouth tied 1 apiece. Brentford topped Ipswich Town 4-3. Brighton and Hove Albion drew with Wolverhampton 2-2. Man City beat Southampton 1-0, and Everton and Fulham 1-1 draw. On Sunday, Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. West Ham beat Man United 2-1. Man United's Ten Hag got sacked after the loss. And Arsenal and Liverpool drew 2-2. This upcoming week, let's go to the schedule, as they say in England. On Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just remember, this Saturday night, turn your clocks back. So it'll start getting dark at 4:30 at night now. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Newcastle United hosts Arsenal. Then at 11 o'clock, Bournemouth hosts Man City. Ipswich Town hosts Leicester City. Liverpool hosts Brighton and Hove. Nottingham Forest will host West Ham. Southampton will host Everton. And Wolverhampton will host Crystal Palace. Then on Sunday at 9 a.m., Tottenham Hotspur will host Aston Villa. And Man United will host Chelsea. We go to the Premier League table. Man City on top with 23 points. And second, Liverpool with 22 points. Arsenal and Aston Villa are both tied for third, 18 points, although Arsenal is actually sitting in third because of their goal differential. Chelsea fifth with 17 points. Brighton and Hove, then Nottingham Forest, each with 16 points apiece. Tottenham Hotspur and Brentford, each with 13 points apiece. And then rounding out the top 10, Fulham has 12 points. Right now, if the season were to end today, relegation would go to Ipswich, Wolverhampton, and Southampton. Just looking over some of the Carabao Cup continued today. Liverpool beat Brighton 3-2. Crystal beat Villa 2-1. Man United beat Leicester 5-2. Newcastle United beat Chelsea 2-0. Arsenal beat Preston North End 3-0. And Tottenham beat Man City 2-1. NASCAR this weekend. Tyler Reddick won the race. That puts him in the Final Four. Let's see. Trying to go to the results of the race. Was at Homestead. Your top 10 were Reddick, Blaney, Hamlin, Bell, Elliott, Byron, Bowman, Chicken, Allmendinger, Carson Hocevar, and Ryan Preece. There is one race left before they go to the Final Four. Right now, Tyler Reddick is your overall leader. Joey Logano sits second. Christopher Bell sits third. William Byron fourth. On the bubble right now, these drivers are basically going to have to win to get in. Kyle Larson fifth, Denny Hamlin sixth, defending champ Ryan Blaney is seventh, and Elliott is eighth. Kyle Larson may get in over Byron if he has a better day than Byron. But Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott they're more than likely going to have to win to get into the Final Four. And they will be at Martinsville this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Short track, beating and banging. Going to be some tomfoolery going on. The Yankees still in the bottom of the second. It's 4-0 Yankees, back-to-back homers. I sort of had a feeling this was going to happen. Jack Flaherty, pitcher for the Dodgers, he is finished. He gets chased in the second. Anthony Banda is now in for the Dodgers. Anthony Volpe with a jack. I'm not saying it's over, but you sort of have that feeling. Oh, there's college football on right now too, ladies and gentlemen. Liberty and Jacksonville State are at the half. It's 14 apiece. Western Kentucky over Kennesaw in the second, 24-7. So I think that's going to do it for the night. Oh, NHL scores. End of the second, the Islanders and the Blue Jackets are scoreless. In the second, the Jets are all over the Red Wings, 3-0. 9 o'clock, Lightning Avalanche. 9:30, Flames Utah Hockey Club. 10 o'clock, Golden Knights Kings. 10:30, Devils Canucks. One more peek at the NBA scores. Late in the third, the Raptors over the Hornets, 94-91. Late in the third, Cavaliers over the Lakers, 92-73. Late in the middle of the third, the Pacers are kicking the Celtics' ass, 90-68. In the third, Pistons over the 76ers, 79-60. In the third, Hawks 75, Wizards 68. Halftime, Heat 58, Knicks 52. In the second, Magic over the Bulls, 50-34. Beginning of the second, Nets over the Grizz, 34-29. 9:30, Spurs Thunder. 10 o'clock, Pelicans Warriors. Again, I will have another edition of the Locker Room tomorrow, actually early, from 4:30 to 5:30 EST. Halloween tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Enjoy your Halloween. I will have Jared Pruger on, who covers Penn State football. We'll talk about the Penn State Ohio State football game. Maybe get into some more Big Ten football. See what he thinks. Again, treat everybody with kindness, show passion, show compassion, show empathy, show passion too. Tell somebody you love them today. I'm out. What can I play to take us out? Oh, I will play some relaxing music. I will see everybody tomorrow, ladies.